Hey guys, it's Eddie the Magic Monk. Welcome to another Phaser tutorial. Today we're going to start talking about states. And the reason for that is because right now we have a game that is just one single state. You can see the whole game is on one page. Now this is fine for a little introductory tutorial type game, but when your game gets more complicated, chances are you're going to want menus, levels, things like that. So we're going to have to look at a better way of separating our code into different modules or states or levels or menus, however you want to look at it. So in order for us to start with states, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a little folder, because all our files are not going to be individual files anymore. It's going to be many files in the game, not just one file. So I'm just going to call this folder lesson 9, so that when I upload it to the internet, I can just upload this whole folder. And then within lesson 9, I'm going to create a file called index.html. Okay, so this is now going to be our first, the start of our game. Okay, so what I'm going to do is have all the usual HTML head, all that stuff. Okay, but I'm now going to put in inside the head section the script for Phaser. So obviously I'm still going to have it inside a JavaScript folder, so I'm just going to go script source equals, so I'm just going to copy this folder in there, right click, copy the JavaScript folder. Actually, I'm just going to do it inside Internet Explorer. So I'm going to copy the JavaScript file, just the compressed version, into the lesson 9 folder. Okay, so I'm just gonna put it inside a folder called JS, and I'll cut it into there. Okay, so now that it's in that folder, I should be able to see it if I refresh it. Where is the refresh button? Is it over here? No, that's sync. So if I right click and choose refresh local files, it shows up. Okay, so you can see the phaser.min, so I'm just going to drag that in. No, I can't drag it in, so I'm just going to type it in. It's js/phaser.min.js. It shows up, which is good, and /script. Okay, so now I'm going to insert the script to link to our first state. Okay, so the first state, I'm just going to call it state1.js. It hasn't been made up yet, but for now, I'm just going to show you how to switch between two states. So I'm going to have one state, state 1, state 2, and I'll show you how to switch in between them. So then I have the actual script for the game, script/script, and inside the script I will have my usual game variable. So you can see, if you guys remember, at the start of our game we have this game variable, so let's copy that in. Okay, so this is what we had originally, a game variable, and we created a new Phaser game, but we had all of these functions which we don't need anymore at this point, because we're going to put them within each state. So we have phaser.canvas, and that's it. And then I'm going to add our two states to the state manager. So here is the name of the state, which is state 1, and the file name. Okay, so file name and name of the state I don't see the point in making them different names, so they're just all going to be called state 1, and then I'll have state 2. Both of these states are now added, and the first state that I'm going to add is the first state that it's going to start on is going to be called state 1, and that is going to be our main menu. Okay, so that is now our first page. You don't need anything else except I guess you can put a title if you want. So I'm just going to put my Magic Monk Space Shooter. Okay, I guess you can call that our game. Okay, so that is our main file now, our index file. Okay, but you can see we're meant to have state1.js, state2.js. They haven't been made yet. So we're now going to make them. We're going to go inside our JavaScript folder, and I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to call it state1.js. I'm going to make another file called state2.js. Okay, so I have my two states. So let's go into state 1. It's a JavaScript document. So if you guys remember, what did we have? We had a lot of different functions. Okay, we had a lot of different functions. So what were the functions? We got the preload function. So we're just going to go variable state1 equals. Okay, so that's our state variable, and we had the preload function, and then we got the create function, and then we had the update function. We got all of these different functions, if you guys remember that. And we're just going to separate them with commas. Okay, because they're basically different elements of our state 1, different elements of our state 1 variable. So we got preload, we got create, and we have update. Okay, so to make it simple, I'm just going to add a bit of text. So I'm just going to go game.add.text, and let's put the text in some sort of position and have a bit of text displaying on the screen. Okay, so just so that and let's specify the color as well. Fill is white. Okay, so we specify the color of our text. So state 1 is just going to have a bit of white text showing on the screen. And then, yeah, so that should work so far, because right now I've just got two states, and state 1 has a bit of text showing on the screen. Now, why is it that there are some red warning signs? State 1 is defined but never used. Maybe it's just because Phaser is not known to Dreamweaver. So finish off with a little semicolon, because this is where we finish declaring the variable, the state 1 variable. Okay, so we have 3 functions. Each function has braces in, and we got the text displaying in state 1. So let's just see, just so that there are no confusion, let's copy this and put it in state 2. Let's copy that and put it in state 2 and just change it to state 2. This is state 2. Okay, so now let's go to index. Actually, let's upload this whole folder onto the internet. So it's lesson 9 that I'm uploading, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, so you can see that we have, this is state 1. Okay, this is state 1. So that's great. So now we just need a key to go to state between state 1 and state 2. So let's go to state 1 and let's add a bit of a key. So let's just go give the key a variable. So enter key equals game.input.keyboard.add key. This adds a key to the game input, and let's call it phaser.keyboard.enter. Okay, so that will add the enter key to our game and place it inside the enter key variable, and then we're going to say when this key is pressed, okay, when this key is pressed, we're going to go to the next level. So if the enter key is down, we go to the next level. Game.state.start, we start state 2. Okay, so let's save that, upload it. Okay, and let's see what happens in our little state switcher. Refresh. Okay, and now let's press the enter key and see what happens. Press enter, goes to state 2. So it is working. We got 2 states and it's switching between them. So that's awesome. So now we're just going to add some more instructions to each state. Okay, so we've got the instruction saying this is state 1. So rather than saying this is state 1, I'm going to say welcome to Magic Monk Space Shooter. And then I'm going to say press enter to start the game. So I'm going to add another piece of text. So I'm going to make it a little bit lower. And then I'm going to say press enter to start the game. Press enter to start the game. And then just see if that is working. Okay, so we have welcome to Magic Monk Space Shooter, and we're going to press enter to start the game. So press enter, and now we go to this is state 2. So that is working, but we sort of want the actual game to be in state 2 now. So you can see that state 2 right now has pretty much nothing in it except a preload create update function, and that's it right now. So we're going to drag in the things that we made previously and put them into our state. So you can see we got the preload function. We just added in the 4 files. Okay, so let's drag them in and put them out in our preload function. And then what do we have? We've got some variables we're going to put inside the the game. So where should we put these variables? Let's put them at the top of everything, because we got no problem with it being used throughout the game. So let's just put them at the top. And then we have what else? We have the create function. So let's copy all of this and let's put them in state 2. So everything under create. So rather than saying this is state 2, it's got all of this stuff now. And then under the update function, I've got now all this stuff that we created previously. And then after that, we have the render function. Render function, so we're just going to put in something similar for render. So let's just copy this bit here and call it render. The render function is going to have the text being displayed on the screen. And then we're going to put in here some of the other functions. And for now, let's just put them outside of the state variable. Outside of the state variable, because these are technically not any of these default functions. Okay, so let's save it, save state 2, and let's see what happens when we run the game. Save it, upload it. Okay, so let's run the game. So there is a little error that I've just found, is after the update function, I didn't put a comma before the render function. So let's save that and let's test it out again. Okay, so you can see our Magic Monk Tutorials Lesson 9. It now says menu. Welcome to Magic Monk Space Shooter. Press enter to start. And we've got our game that we've made previously with the randomly generating enemies. Okay, so thanks guys for watching the state tutorial. See you next time.